morning. It is Wednesday, August 25th. I'm Danielle Wiggins with your 3 News Now morning update. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me on the WKYC Facebook and YouTube pages. Whew, my goodness, it's going to be another hot one today with many local schools keeping their doors closed. Holly is tracking both the heat and the rain, plus when we're going to see some relief. Holly.
Thank you so much, Danielle. And as we look ahead, very similar to what we've already dealt with today, we'll have these occasional showers and thunderstorms and some pretty decent downpours. Could see some gusty winds and some stronger storms, absolutely. This is the view at 4 o'clock today. We continue to see on and off showers, storms, even through this evening. And the heat, the humidity, it's not going anywhere. As we take a look at temperatures overnight, very similar to what we had earlier today. As we start our Thursday, we're 60s, 70s. I mean, that is warm. And then you factor in the humidity. We'll see some sunshine again for tomorrow, and then also be talking about those spotty shower and storm chances. And get used to it, because this pattern is really not looking much different as we even advance into Friday and the weekend. We'll get there. In the meantime, on and off thunderstorms today, hot, humid, upper 80s, heat index values, what it will feel like in the mid to upper 90s. That's the important takeaway. Make sure you're staying hydrated, make sure you can find some AC, do the best you can to just stay cool. And tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, noticing a trend, partly sunny skies, we'll have scattered storms at times. And then it looks like by next week, we'll finally feel more seasonal with low 80s. Back to you, Danielle.
Okay, Holly, thank you so much. Now let's turn back to the schools who have shut their doors today because of heat. Some of the districts calling off classes are Cuyahoga Falls City Schools, Kirtland, Mentor, Parma City Schools as well, West Geauga and Willoughby Eastlake Schools. And in Norton, all schools are closed except the high school, which does have air conditioning. But it's not just schools feeling the high temps. The Women's U.S. Open qualifying tournament, Tennis in the Land, is in full swing this week. Now, the competition is barely cutting through the heat. And the rising temperature, well, it can be felt everywhere, especially classrooms. Avon Lake Elementary Schools, well, they have pushed their first day of class to tomorrow. Their superintendent saying the AC system is not strong enough, especially while social distancing remains top of mind.
Really, because of our COVID mitigation protocols, we can't move them together. We want them to wear masks, and it is uncomfortable when it's this hot.
And remember, we can send all the school cancellations right to your phone. Text the word HEAT to 216-344-3300 and we will send the link. Again, that's a text, not a phone call. To COVID-19 news now, some game-changing news from The Ohio State University. All students, faculty, and staff are now required to be vaccinated. The university is requiring all vaccinations by October 15th. Again, that's for COVID. The mandate coming one day after the FDA gave full approval to the Pfizer vaccine. Ohio State now becomes the 9th school in the Big Ten to require COVID vaccines for students and staff. OSU students have mixed reactions on this push.
It's good for the freshmen, incoming freshmen, because we actually get to have a college experience.
I already started my last year, so are you going to kick me out if I say, hey, I don't want this?
Ohio State says it will only consider exemptions on a case-by-case basis. And Ohio just hit a vaccination milestone. More than 6 million residents ages 12 and up have started the vaccination process. The state says 60% of eligible Ohioans have now received at least one shot. But when it comes to COVID cases, they are on the rise once again. The state reported 4,117 new cases Tuesday. But keep in mind that we tend to see higher numbers on Tuesdays following weekend testing. But compared to this same day last year, we are almost up by 3,000 cases, and we are almost double our 21-day average. Well, healthcare providers are exhausted and getting sick themselves while caring for those who are ill. According to the Ohio Department of Health, in just 1 month, our adult hospitals have seen their COVID hospitalizations jump almost 5 times higher. At the Cleveland Clinic, they're seeing a significant increase in adults, and the majority of them are unvaccinated. At university hospitals, scientist and COVID expert Dr. Kenneth Remy says he's cared for about 2,000 COVID patients.
This past weekend, I was caring for a number of patients with COVID disease, and greater than 98% of those are unvaccinated. And some of those patients, unfortunately, lost their battle. A lot of them will tell you when they arrive, these people will say, I wish I would have just got the vaccine. And by that point, unfortunately, there's only supportive therapies that we can do. This is that moment that you can change that trajectory. And so numbers are increasing. They will continue to increase unless we take precautions.
The Cleveland Clinic tells us that they are not at capacity, but they say our community must act by getting vaccinated and masking. Now turning to the crisis in Afghanistan. This morning, we have an update on the evacuation timeline in Afghanistan. President Biden says the U.S. is on track for August 31st, but he says it depends on the Taliban's continued cooperation in allowing evacuees to reach the Kabul airport. Close allies and lawmakers are urging the president to change course and extend the mission. The president is asking advisors to prepare contingency plans if troops stay longer, but warned that danger increases each day.
Every day we're on the ground is another day we know that ISIS-K is seeking to target the airport and attack both U.S. and allied forces and innocent civilians.
Over the past 24 hours, the U.S. and its allies evacuated more than 21,000 people, which is a new record. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken will give an update today on efforts to bring more Americans home from Afghanistan. The Pentagon says that there are a little bit above 5,000 people at the airport in Kabul waiting to board flights, which are now leaving about every 45 minutes. Airbnb, though, they are pledging to provide free housing for 20,000 Afghan refugees. The company's CEO, Brian Chesky, says this program starts immediately. He called the displacement and resettlement of refugees one of the biggest humanitarian crises of our time. Chesky did not say how long this program would last. Alrighty, time now for the best news you'll hear all day, especially if you are a country fan. Blake Shelton will be in Ohio today. He is headlining Bash on the Bay, which kicks off today. The 2-day country music festival is happening at Put-in-Bay. It's at the airport there. Gates open at 2:30, and then tomorrow, Keith Urban will take the stage. Let us know in the comments section if you plan on going. Well, thank you for taking time to join me for this 3 News Now morning update. Make sure you stick with our weather team on WKYC.com and the WKYC app as they continue to track this heat and the rain. I'm Danielle Wiggins, and the Go team will see you Thursday morning on Go starting at 4:30 a.m. Have a great day, everybody.